I did make it.
We made it.
Well, last time we didn't quite make it, but yeah.
And before that, I was sick and you came. I feel like we were passing ships
I know,
with
the
this show.
ships in the night. Yeah, just different accidents happening at different times.
No.
Yeah.
I know, either I have COVID and you're covering for me, or there's a motor, so there's always an accident.
Yeah.
You're good. You look great, though.
But this is
You
a
look like
brand
you're
new
doing
face.
well. Great job. Great job.
It is. It's unbelievable. What happened? I was working on a car and I got a face full of gasoline, and it caught fire. I had been eating a flaming hot Dorito when I'd been into it.
Oh my God! What a commercial!
It set my face on. No, but it was interesting. It was all third-degree burns. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
You can't tell at all.
No, you think there'd be a zipper here or something, but no.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no,
it's
this is like
crazy.
a brand new. Only for the second time in my career am I the new face of comedy. You know, I got it once in the '80s, and now I get it again. That's a brand new ear.
Nothing like a great encore. So not too long after your accident, you got back into stand-up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, I missed 2 days. You know, I spent 8 days in the hospital, and they managed to fix this all up. It was pretty amazing. This Grossman Burn Center is it's unbelievable. And it's a great way to lose weight. First, you burn off the calories, and then you go on a crash diet on your motorcycle, and I dropped 20 pounds. Yeah, so it's fantastic.
The optimist.
And of course, the tabloids get it all wrong. And the fact that I have smoother skin, poutier lips, and a tighter butt has nothing to do with being in the hospital. That part was just coincidental.
Natural.
Exactly. No, but it's good. It's good.
I heard that. Is this true that President Biden reached out to you?
He did. Now, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you get a call from the President of the United States, and it's an honor. But the way it goes is the phone. Hello? Is this Jay Leno? Is this the Leno residence? Yes. Are you prepared to take a call from the President of the United States? Yes, I am. Please stay on the line. And then they'll connect you with President Obama or President Bush. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So I'm in the hospital. Phone rings. Hello? Jay? Jay? Yeah, it's Joe. I said, Joe? Joe Biden. I went, oh, Joe Biden, President of the United States? He goes, yeah. I said, where are you? I'm in China. I heard about it. I just want to send. I said, oh, I'm doing fine. Well, I'm very honored you called. Yeah, no problem. I just made me hilarious. It
just straight up called you yourself.
Yeah, just straight up. Jay, it's Joe. Of course. Of course.
That literally, he and his wife called my mother.
Yeah.
And because we did this thing and it was about teachers and they called my mother. Nobody else called, like you said, not a representative for them. No. Literally, my mom was like, hello. And it was them.
Yeah.
And it was the craziest thing I've seen. He's definitely like a man of the people.
Yeah, he really is. I like Joe very much. A very nice guy.
So wait, you must have met a lot of presidents over your time. So did you meet Reagan? Did I hear that?
Yeah. When I was just starting my career, I got through the White House correspondence. That was the scariest one. The first time I did the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I'm backstage, and it's all political people and some show people. And I'm standing backstage in the wings, and this general comes in like this. He's got he goes, hey, you the comedian, come here. I go, okay, that's the President of the United States. You understand that? That is my commander-in-chief. He's doing this. That's my commander-in-chief. I go, yes.
He's doing that to you?
Yeah, he goes, you don't denigrate him. You don't make fun of him. He is the President of the United States. He is my commander. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I said, yes, sir. Yeah, okay. He's a big huffer. Fine, he leaves. And I go, oh, man, I got to change my act here, And then about 2 minutes later, remember George Shultz, Secretary of Defense? George Shultz come in, he's got a drink, he goes, and he's like 3 sheets to the wind at this point. He goes, Leno, come here. You get out there, you nail Ronnie's ass to the wall. And I go,
totally different.
I go, well, that general, screw him, he works for me. I'm telling you what to do. You make fun of that black thing on Reagan's head. You understand? I said, well, do you understand? I want you to nail him to the wall. I don't know what to do now. Now I'm like,
what did you do?
Oh, I nailed him to the wall.
You had an out. They told you to.
Yeah, I remember the opening joke was I want to congratulate Nancy Reagan on being named Humanitarian of the Year. I'm glad she beat out that conniving little tramp Mother Teresa. That was the joke. But Reagan goes like this. So when Reagan laughed at that, then I knew I was in. So.
It's like, and they're all watching. Does he think it's funny? Yes, it's hilarious.
Yeah, when you do the White, that's what they do. They look at the president, and then they laugh. That's exactly what happened.
So tell us about the new season of You Bet Your Life.
Well, that's good. You know, it's a lot of fun. You get the oddest people. Because it's really a variation of jaywalking, what we used to do in the town.
Yeah, I love that, yeah.
It's a game show with a comedy, or a comedy show with a game attached to it, you know.
Yeah.
But we just get strange, like you have a mathematician on here today,
Yes.
right? I just met a fascinating woman.
Yeah.
And we had this guy. This guy says, I'm in Mensa. He says, my friends are always amazed that when we go out to dinner, I can know 15% of their bill like that. I said, oh, you can do that quickly. Yes, I'm like a human computer. I said, okay, what's 15% of 500? He goes, okay, 10% of 500 is 50. I go, okay, hold it right there. Okay. I'm dyslexic. That's what I do. I said, you should have had the answer before I finished the question. You know, yeah, it just made me laugh. Just odd people.
And they don't even realize what's coming out of their mouth.
No,
like
we had another woman who was a professional pooper scooper. That's what she did.
What?
But she was a professional, not your average. You know, she worked in New York City and she would follow people around with their dogs, but she was a professional pooper scooper. I said, well, that must be a fascinating job. Yeah, just odd, different kind of people like that.
I didn't even know that was a job. I thought it was your job if you owned the dog. Like,
I don't really think it's a job.
Okay. Okay. So, is it true that when you first came to LA, you would sleep in open houses? Like open houses?
Well, you know, you can't do that anymore because
I don't think you were supposed to do it before.
Well, every house has an alarm system now.
Yes.
But when I first came to LA, first thing I did was buy a car. It's either a car or a place to live. Well, you need a car, you're in LA. So I would just sleep in my car. And when I would go to open houses, I opened Sunday from noon to 4. So I'd get there at 3:30, look around the house. Okay, thank you, realtor, thank you. I'd slam the front door, then I'd go hide in the closet, you know, I'd stand there. And then about a half hour later, hear the realtor lock up, and I would live in the house for 3 or 4 days.
That's crazy.
And I never broke anything. I always made the bed. And I did that a bunch of times. And then I was staying at a beautiful house on Coldwater Canyon, where I later found out was owned by one of the Beach Boys, you know. So I'm sleeping. I hear the realtor. Now, in here, here's a lovely room. This little 9-year-old girl goes, Mommy, there's a man in the bed. Oh, my God! And I go, oh, sorry, no, excuse me. What are you doing here? And she starts, the realtor starts screaming. Sorry, excuse me. Let me get out of here, please. Yeah, so, yeah. But actually, it was a great place. You saved a fortune in rent, and you lived in... And I lived in beautiful homes.
I think it's called squatting.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
I think you do say that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. I had to live in my car for a few days when I lived here because my place burned down. That's uncomfortable.
It is.
Yeah, even in the recline position.
Yeah, but see, I had a 55 Buick, which is enormous car. Oh, yeah, you could seat 6 for dinner in this car.
Okay, you could lay out.
Yeah, in fact, it didn't have a radio. It had live acts. That's how big it was. It was a
live band.
Live band, yeah, it was a big car.